Welcome to the Soulfire Podcast, where every day we talk about real life, real shit, real raw. On this show, you can expect us to dive deep into topics like marriage, parenting, money, business, feeling like you want to give up, fighting for yourself, just straight soul healing. This podcast is all about life. Hey there, it's Power Coach Alicia here, your source of fun, funny, exciting, entertaining, and educational life coaching, transformational speaking, and soul healing. We're talking about setting your soul on fire. I specialize in helping women put themselves first without feeling guilty, getting out of their own way, and finding themselves again. No fluff, no hand-holding, no bullshit here, just love, light, and peace as we journey through this thing called life. Hello and welcome back to the Soulfire Podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about why you are feeling like you're not really making forward progress in your life. Now, I don't want that to be mistaken with like you don't feel like your life is good or you're not happy with your life. I mean, more than likely, if you're being honest with yourself, you're not very happy with your life. But that's why you're here, is so that I can help you through that. Or I could even say that there are significant areas that have a deep impact on you that you're not happy with. And then if you look at it overall, you're happy with your life, right? So let's jump into the 5 reasons that you aren't making forward progress. The first one is you won't ask for help, all right? And this is a huge one. Now, there's 3 reasons why you won't ask for help. The first one is you feel like you're annoying people or the other person. You're like, I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to bother them. I don't want to interrupt them. They've got their own life, their own things that they're doing. I don't want to be that person, right? And I actually just gave you all 3. But the second reason that you won't ask for help is because you don't want to bother people. You feel like everybody is so busy doing their own thing that they don't have space and time for you. So you're just going to have to take care of it yourself. Now, when I'm talking about people, more than likely, it's directly related to your partner. So you don't want to bother your partner. I mean, they've worked so hard. They do their best to keep a roof over the head. They're working a lot of hours in their job. So you don't want to bother them with this, right? And then the third reason why you won't ask for help is because you don't want to interrupt anyone. You don't want to interrupt anyone while they're in the middle of doing what they're doing. So if it's your partner who's in the middle of, let's say, tinkering in the garage, let's say, like, oh, I don't want to interrupt him. He never gets any time to himself, right? And so, or if you have a really busy friend that you know is always crazy busy, instead of just being honest and being like, hey, I need your help, or hey, I could really use a listening ear, you won't ask because you don't want to interrupt them in their busy life and what they've got going on. Now, here's the thing. If you don't ask for help, specifically from your partner and those people who are close to you, you are going to destroy your soul. I talk about this all the time. Not only destroying your soul, but constantly operating in power save mode, which is between 1 and 20% battery life. That's like your personal battery juice, right? And that is a horrible place to be operating from at long term. If you've been operating from that place for long term, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So my first thing that I want to say here is think about one thing that you could really use help with right now, and think about the person that you need that help from. And I'm going to issue you this challenge to go ask them as soon as you get done listening to this podcast. So the number 2 reason why you're not really making forward progress in your life is because you're a control freak. It must be done your way, in your timeline, the way that you see fit. And so therefore, no one else can do it. No one else can take care of it. No one else can, take that off your plate because they're not going to do it right. Now, I find this happens a lot in the household when it comes to household chores. Well, they're not going to do the laundry right. They're not going to do the dishes right. They're not going to put them away right. They're not going to fold their clothes right. They're not going to clean their room right. They're not going to vacuum right. They're not going to wipe down the ground. Blah, 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 blah. And so, therefore, you have to do it all. And the truth is that you can actually train your children and your partner, if you will, to do things your way so that it doesn't create that angst inside of you that it wasn't done your way. But more than that, when you realize that controlling the situation is less important than your personal health, mind, body, and soul well-being, it's a lot easier for you to let go of only one way of doing things. When you are such a control freak that there's only one way of doing each of the things and it's your way, it really destroys your mind, body, and soul because you can't have both. You must relinquish control in order to find that peace and that energy and that aliveness inside of you. The number 3 reason why you're not making forward progress in your life is that you have unfair expectations on yourself. You believe that you have to do all these things, be all these things, and show up for all these people because you're the only one that can do it. Here's something that I always say to my clients. What would happen if you died? Someone would have to step up and do it. Yes, it may not be the ideal situation, and it may not be what you want to happen. It may not be who you want to step up and, take care of it, but somebody would have to step up and do it instead of you. Now, I'm not saying that you should just stop being your kid's mom or stop being your partner's partner. I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying is you are not the only one that can do it, right? 1. And 2, you should not be setting these expectations of yourself so high that you do not allot for any time in your day or any time in your week for you. I can't tell you how often I hear, I can't tell you how many people tell me on a daily basis, but every single day I hear that you don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time to put myself first. I have this going on. I have that going on. I have this going on. I have that going on. All those things are things you put on your plate. They're the expectations you set of yourself. And so therefore, the reason why you don't have the time is because you don't make the time. All your time is filled up with all of these things that you are expecting yourself to do in order to help other people, be for other people, and show up for other people, so that they don't have to figure it out on their own or they don't have to ask someone else, right? And this happens a ton with your kids, your partner, close friends, and close family members. You set the expectation of yourself that you must be the one to show up, be there, and help them, because if you don't, no one else is going to do it. And that's not true. If your kid is older, let's say 5 years old or older, there's a lot that child can do that you're doing for them that can free up time for you to, 1, plan time for yourself, but 2, spend more quality time with that child. One of the things that I see, and I don't ever usually hear this, a mom who is overworked and burnt out with unfair expectations placed on herself is never the mom that's talking about quality time. She never says, because I spend this quality time making memories with my kids, connecting with them, having honest conversations, teaching them, how to be women who protect their body and have that self-confidence and personal power and or men to grow up to be, respectable men and how they treat other women and other people and I don't have the time for myself. Oh, no. It's shit like laundry and cleaning and back and forth to 72 extracurricular activities that each kid's in and like the crazy shit that doesn't matter. Because here's the deal. If you are focused on quality time in each of those areas with each of those people, your partner, your children, your close family, and close friends, then it would be a whole different ball of wax. But it's more on what they need you to do that they can do themselves or that you can get help to do so that you can free up your time for that quality time. Never mistake quality over the high expectations that you have of yourself. And okay, so we are now to the number 4 reason that you are not making forward progress in your life. And that is, you don't set the expectations and standards for other people as high as you have them set on yourself. So you have these high expectations of yourself that we were just talking about, but all the people around you, it doesn't fucking matter what they do. Your kids, your partner, you make excuses for all those people, your close friends, your close family. They've got a lot going on. They're busy. They're overwhelmed. This person died. They just had a baby. They started a new job. Their job is demanding. Their boss just changed the hours. They just lost their job. Whatever the fuck it is, you make all these excuses for them. And then you set these standards and expectations for yourself, but none of these people in your life have high standards and expectations coming from you. Now, it is not good to put expectation and standards on other people in one breath, and it's amazing for you to do it in the next breath. So let me explain what I mean. When I say high standards and expectations, it can be how you, let's say on friendships, how you value the friendship. These are the standards and expectations I am expecting from my friends because this is what I'm going to give to them. Now, it doesn't have to be in direct correlation. We've talked about that before, but knowing that level of reciprocation and the line where you say, if this isn't happening, I'm not giving any more, because you do not want to be the one always pouring in and pouring out to other people, or the one pouring into other people, them dumping on you, and you don't even have a friend or a person that you can confide in and have that same connection with, that you can pour into, because there is no space in that relationship. So it's important that you have standards and expectations of your close friends so that you can get back what your soul needs as well, what you're going to give, right? Well, with your kids, my kids have been doing chores since they were 1 and 4. I went on Pinterest. I found this chore chart. It said what the kids could do at the different ages. And I started giving my kids chores based on those ages because I was a mom of a 1 and 4-year-old that did everything. I was running around like a chicken with its head cut off, doing everything for everyone, being everything for everyone. And I realized, like, I can't continue like this. So my brain went, well, what can a 1-year-old even do for chores? So I went and Googled it. And then I found this chore chart. And from there, I use that as my guide to raise the standards for my kids, because they will only rise to the level that you set for them. And that's how I even got to that point. This episode is brought to you by 90 Day Shift. The time is now to step up and take control of your life. It's time for you to stop sabotaging yourself, being everything to everyone, and shift your life from the shit shows to the rainbows so that you can live your life connected, energized, and excited. I want you to think about when you first started out in life, or as far back as you can remember. You were like a kid in a candy store with all the possibilities that there were for you, the opportunities of what you could be, what you could do, what you could have, the dreams and goals that you had. You just knew your life was going to be amazing and that you were going to live your passion and make all of your dreams come true. And you probably even started out that way, on the path to making that life happen. But then what happened? People started telling you that you need to be more level-headed. You need to get a job so that you can pay your bills. You started settling for the path to make ends meet, which made you stop pursuing your dreams and your passion and what you thought you wanted to do and what lit you up and what gave you that fire. And you stopped doing the things that make you happy. And life got busy. Things started getting in the way. You put you on hold. You started making compromises about who you are and what you loved doing, what you stood for. And so now you're struggling to figure out what to do and asking yourself things like, how the hell did I get here? Why can't I set goals and actually achieve them? What the hell is it that I want to do? Who the hell am I? And is this how my life is always going to be? And then you're also saying to yourself, I don't know how much longer I can live like this. And that's exactly why I created my 90-Day Shift program for people like you who are exhausted, overwhelmed, feeling like there has to be more to their life than this, struggling to find time, and feeling like they're running like a chicken with its head cut off, here, there, doing this, doing that, being everything for everyone. And when you look in the mirror, you don't even recognize yourself. This program is 100% for you if you feel like you're ready to shift into creating harmony in your life with everything you have on your plate, connecting with yourself on a soul level, creating a personal growth plan that is vital to your health and quality of life, creating space every single day for you, learning to trust yourself, making room for all the good to come to you, figuring out what your passion is and going for it, having you back and letting go all of the shit that's been holding you back for however long you've been in this place. All so that you can finally find yourself again. To learn more and sign up, go to 90dayshift.life. Again, that's 90dayshift.life. I was the mom that did everything. And it took me a while to realize, like, yeah, he's not really going to put his clothes away right. And he might put them in and out of the drawer 7,200 times because he's a 1-year-old. But that's entertainment for him. And it also helps him have a level of control and responsibility, right? And so when I'm talking about standards and expectations and high standards and expectations, I'm not talking about unfair standards and expectations of other people. I'm just saying, for anybody who lives under your roof, there should be high standards and expectations for every single person. And it's not just one thing. It's not just the kid's job to get good grades, or your partner's only job is to work the 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and that's it. Like, everybody has multiple jobs that they need to do, but it's up to you to create that standard and that expectation, because you're the one that has taken all the responsibility and burden off everyone else and put it on yourself, when there's a whole bunch of people that can help diversify that in your household. And if there's not, you can hire it out, right? To take that burden off of you. It doesn't need to be yours. And the number 5 reason why you're not making forward progress in your life is you are not as important to you as you make everyone else. Let me say that again. You're not as important to you as you make everyone else. So everyone in your life is way more important to you than you are. That is a surefire recipe for waking up one day, looking in the mirror. You don't recognize yourself. You're upset with whatever weight you've gained. Your face doesn't look the same. You've aged and you didn't even realize it. There's all of these things where, like, who am I? You don't know what you love to do, what you enjoy. You say, I love being a mom. I enjoy being a wife. And those are your identity. You can't think of creative things that you can connect to, or crafts, or things that you love that are outside of being a mom and a wife. You've lost your identity in those things and you don't know what to do about it. That is the reason why you're here, and what attracts you to me is the fact that that's the type of person that I attract. Now, that doesn't mean that you're a broken soul and you can't come back and you're in this depressed state and that you're on antidepressants. You could be. That could be true for you, but it doesn't have to be, even though you are the woman that I described. And the reason why you're in that place is because you are not as important, or have not been as important to you as you made everyone else. I have finding a lot lately that the women who are finding me and connecting with me, or seeking out a therapist, are women whose kids are getting older. They have their own life, maybe 15, 16 and above. They don't really depend on you as a parent as much anymore. And you're struggling to find out who you are as a person outside of a mom, and how the hell your relationship with your partner is going to move forward, because it's taken a back burner or low on the list to the kids because they always came first, right? It is so important that right now in this moment that you make yourself more important than anyone else. And I know that's a big gut punch to you. You're like, oh my God, I could never do that because I'm not more important to my kids. They're my world. They're my everything. My husband deserves for me to make dinner and to have a nice home cooked meal when he gets off work, and he's been working so hard, and we're back to those expectations and standards, the unfair expectations and standards that you have set for yourself, right? But you can't be any of those things to everyone else if you're dead. This is what causes heart disease, cancer, these physical diseases that so many people have now, that there's no cures from or no cures for is the person who constantly beats down their mind, body, and soul to put everyone and everything before them. If you get nothing from me and this podcast, get this one thing. When you make yourself first and you take care of you first, then that means you can give to other people at the highest levels. But when you are the most unimportant person to yourself because everyone is more important to you, then you're giving to every one of those people at your lowest level. So when you're last on your list, you're the worst version of a mom you'll ever be, worst version of a wife that you'll ever be, worst version of a friend, of a daughter, of a sister, whatever it is, than you'll ever be, because you're at your worst version of you. There is no possible way that you can be at the best level version of you, putting yourself last on your list, making yourself the most unimportant person in your life. There's no way. They're complete opposite ends of the spectrum, diametrically opposed. You cannot have them in the same realm. And I want you to get that. So if you want to be the most amazing mother to your children, starts with you. If you want to be the most amazing wife, start with you. The most amazing friend, the most amazing daughter, the most amazing sister, whatever it is, start with you. You have to be first for you to achieve those goals. Otherwise, you are the worst version of you in every area of your life. So with that being said, this is where it's so important for you to step out in faith and start saying yes to yourself. You're like, Alicia, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know what first steps to take. I don't know how to get from where I am to what you're talking about. I totally get that. I totally understand what you're saying, but I have no clue how to do that without just throwing up my hands and running away. Well, that's exactly why I'm here. That's why I have my Power Up Your Life community. That's why I have my 3 main programs that I have. I have my Soul Circle program, which Soul Circle is like a broad spectrum life coaching, from procrastination to organizing your chaos to creating vision boards and clearing your mind clutter and journaling and finding your passion and all of that sort of thing. So it's like, the Soul Circle is like your overview of your whole life and just helping in each of the areas. Marriage, money, finances, all of those things is covered in Soul Circle. So it's a little bit of everything to help you grow as a person. Then there's my 90-day shift program. And in that program, it's taking daily action for 90 days to help shift you one notch further towards how you want to feel, where you want to go, what you want your life to look like over the next 90 days. My signature program, Shift Happens, is like your powerhouse program. It's my signature program because it directly helps you get out of your own way, put yourself first without feeling guilty, and find yourself again. It is all 3 areas of your life. And this 8-week program is like a crazy, amazing mind, body, and soul boot camp. It's my number 1 raved about program because it's hitting all 3 areas of life in a short amount of time and giving you that huge shift that you're looking for. And then from there is my Soul Shifts Mastermind. And that mastermind is all about women coming together in one safe space and helping each other grow and continue to shift into the next level version of ourselves as we all experience life. Because every single time you have a life experience, you'll have a soul shift to the next level. Life experience, soul shift, life experience, soul shift. So the Soul Shifts Mastermind is all about taking wherever you are and whatever you're going through, whatever challenge you have, the successes that you're having, and helping you shift through them to the next level version of you. So I explain that to you because you're like, what do I do? Well, I've got free masterclasses or very low dollar masterclass that I do. I have 4-part series that I do. I have workshops that I do. You can, and the workshops in the series are free. Some of the masterclasses are free. I have this podcast here. If you want step-by-step coaching and training, then it's joining one of my paid programs. I am pretty biased, I absolutely love Shift Happens. That is the most amazing program for anyone who wants to make a major shift fast, right? So Shift Happens opens 3 to 4 times a year. So that's the only time that you can get into that program. That's why I have Soul Circle, which is your well-rounded. That's why I have 90-day shift, which you can take that daily action for 90 days or be doing something for yourself that's shifting you slightly. My Soul Shift Mastermind opens 2 times a year because for the most part, the people who are in it stay in it for 6 to 12 months, right? So there is the 90-day shift in Soul Circle that you can pretty much always join, but I do like main launches for it where I do giveaways and discounts and different things when I'm doing my main launches, but you can get into those pretty much anytime. But with Shift Happens and Soul Shifts, you got to get in when they are open. So for now, start somewhere, whether it's Soul Circle or 90-day shift. Just say yes to yourself, get in and start taking action to shift yourself to those next levels. If you are listening to this when Shift Happens is open, make it your mission, your number one intention to get in that program no matter what it takes. And you're thinking, well, how do I know if it's open? Well, if you're in my Power Up Your Life community, you can join it by going to community.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's community.soulhealingzone.com. You're going to see all the different things I'm doing, what I'm talking about. You'll see that it's open. My Power Coach Alicia page, you're going to see that it's open. You can follow Power Coach Alicia on Instagram. You'll be able to see that it's open there. If you are watching my videos on YouTube, youtube.com/PowerCoachAlicia, you'll be able to see if it's open there. So there's tons of places. If you're connected in my world, you will know if Shift Happens is open at the time that you are listening to the podcast. If you're binging it, this is a year later, who knows what's going on at that point. But I really do hope that this episode connected with you. And I do want you to take a deep breath because this is a lot. And I want you to give yourself some grace. And from this moment forward, say yes to yourself more than you say yes to other people. And start taking action because, as I always say, it's about that progress, not being perfect, not about perfection. See you next time. Thank you so much for listening to the Soul Fire podcast. I truly appreciate you taking out your time to be here. I would love it if you would subscribe and share. And at the end of each episode, head over to community.soulhealingzone.com. Again, that's community.soulhealingzone.com. And share with me, what was your number one takeaway? What really connected with you? What got your fire lit? What was something that you absolutely loved about this episode? I cannot wait to continue creating more episodes with you, connecting with you, and helping you through this journey on this thing called life. I'll see you later.